Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to explore the number one way to relieve stress, and that is through breath work. If you are new to this channel, this is the Spirituality Simplified channel, where it is my aim to take these big concepts of what is this human experience and simplify them and make them so much more accessible to give you the tools to navigate this oftentimes challenging human experience. So this is the third video of a series of videos all about breathwork. If you haven't checked out my first video, that is really the foundations of what to know about breathwork, I'd invite you to hit pause, go to the description, click that video and watch that. And the reason why I say so is because I'm not going to get into the basics of breathwork, and just understanding a little bit more about the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system is going to help you to understand what we're talking about in this video. And towards the end of this video, I'm actually going to guide you through this short practice of utilizing the cyclic sigh so that you can experience how to actually do this on your own. Dr. Andrew Huberman is one of my favorite. He is a neuroscientist and a professor at Stanford Health, and he actually leads the Huberman Lab at the Stanford School of Medicine. He does all of this in addition to doing the podcast, teaching students and research. So many brilliant things this man does. And recently he put out a podcast all about the nervous system and how you can utilize the breath to regulate your nervous system. And in that podcast episode, he talked about the physiological sigh, also known as the cyclic sigh. And his lab ran a study combining a bunch of different types of breathwork practices alongside meditation practices. And what they found was the practice of a cyclic sigh is more effective to relieve stress than any of the other breathwork practices or meditation practices they compared it with in their focus group. And this is such good news for all of us because the cyclic sigh is so simple to do. Now, I am a breathwork practitioner. I facilitate breathwork journeys, deep dives of going into your subconscious limiting beliefs, finding those areas in your body where you've stored trauma so that your ego can get out of the way and the body can do its thing to release all that stuff you've been carrying. And it's called breathwork because it is work. It is so challenging. It is deep. It is hard. Even some of the breathwork exercises that are more like daily maintenance for a few minutes a day just to like keep yourself going, some of those can be really challenging as well. But the cyclic sigh is probably the easiest breathwork exercise that I've experienced. And according to the study by Huberman's lab, it is actually the most effective to relieve stress, not just in the moment of doing it and thereafter, but throughout your day. It also improves your sleep as well. So this is an incredible practice. I'm so excited to share it with you guys. And before we get started, you might hear physiological sigh, you might hear cyclic sigh, and they're kind of used interchangeably. So what's important to know is that this actual practice is the physiological sigh. But when you do it repeatedly, it's the cyclic sigh. Cyclic meaning repeating, right? Like it's a cycle. So here's how you do it. You inhale through the nose all the way up. Then you take one more sharp inhale through the nose, and then you slowly exhale through the mouth. That is the physiological sigh. Now, if you do this like how Huberman's lab recommends to do it for about 5 minutes a day, then that physiological sigh now becomes the cyclic sigh. So here we go. So what I'm doing here is I'm inhaling through the nose, I'm expanding my diaphragm, I'm bringing that breath all the way up. When I get to the top, I'm sipping in a bit more air, and then through the mouth, exhaling, letting the shoulders drop and letting the diaphragm come back towards the spine. Now, this is an incredible tool that you can utilize at any point in your day. If you find yourself going into a meeting, if you find yourself in a different conversation, at any point where you feel in your nervous system, hey, something's not right here and I need to do something about it. Well, that's when those triggers come up. That's when those past experiences get associated to how you feel right now. And then we respond in a way that's not healthy for us and not healthy for anyone else in the environment. And that is why the physiological sigh in that moment is so important to utilize in that moment. And the more we do this type of practice on a daily basis, to just take a few minutes to turn the physiological sigh into that cyclic sigh, the repeating of it, then when we get to those moments, when we are in the heat of the moment and the nervous system is out of whack, on a subconscious level, our body just go ahead and does it on its own. It'll go, maybe not as drastic as that or as expressive, but you could probably think back to your life at certain times when you just naturally kind of did that. And that was part of this study that Huberman's lab did as well. With that, I'd like to invite you to find a comfortable seat. It might be multitasking, listening to this and using it kind of like a podcast. If you are in a place where you're driving, doing the dishes, walking the dog, whatever it might be, just go ahead and hit pause and come back to this later. And for the rest of us, go ahead, find a comfortable seat. Sitting is great. Lying down is totally fine as well. Closing down the eyes and just watching your breath. Not necessarily making changes to the breath quite yet, but just noticing the pattern and rhythm of your breath in this moment. Releasing any judgment, noticing any thoughts that might come through, and just letting those thoughts drift away. Sitting up a bit straighter, picking up your shoulders, placing them back down behind you. And go ahead and find an inhale through the nose, letting the diaphragm expand. Sip in a bit more air through the mouth. Exhale. Again. Return to its natural state and rhythm. Noticing how you feel in your body. Bring your awareness to the bottom of your feet. Feeling the energy pulsate from the bottom of your feet. Bringing that life force energy, that prana, through your ankles, shins, your calves, feeling into your kneecaps, your thighs. Bring your awareness to your hips, your lower abdomen, up through your chest, shoulders, your upper arms, down to your lower arms and your fingers. Giving your fingers a wiggle, wiggling your toes. When you're ready, flickering your eyes back open. Welcome back to the space. That is my version of the cyclic sigh, including just a little bit of meditation before and afterwards. You don't need to do this exercise like how we just did right now with the meditation before and afterwards. I personally feel like that helps me more, but just know, per the study of Huberman's lab, all you need to do is for a few minutes a day. Give it a try and let me know in the comments how that worked for you. And I know it's going to work great. I feel so much more at ease now. I hope you do as well. If you're new to the channel and you're not subscribed, please make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. You can hit that little bell icon as well if you want the notification when new videos come out. This is the third video of a series of videos all about breathwork. There's a playlist for that. You can check that out. There's other playlists as well. Typically, I'll lead people through breathwork exercises, visualizations, and really a lot of educational content on this channel, Spirituality Simplified. So thank you for being here. I honor you. I see you. I hope you send that love back to yourself because this path is not an easy path. And remember, it's not that difficult. We just tend to overcomplicate it. How can you simplify what's going on in your life? It's easier than you think. Sending so much love. I'll see you on the next video.